Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got a great little hover effect for you today. We've got an image here. When I hover over it, it's going to zoom to a specific spot. I've got it targeting the double windows on that tower there. So if I hover over, there it is right there. And when I let go, of course it goes back. That's a great little feature if you want to highlight a particular spot on an image. Really easy to do. One tiny bit of code today, but don't let that put you off. Any code I write, I'll put down below. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. And we'll go down to where we want to work. Let's just add a new row. In fact, I'll add a new section. Blue button for a section. Make it a regular one. Inside. I'm going to put a double row because I want a fairly large image. And I'm just going to use a regular image module for this. There we are right there. And we can choose the image that we want to put in there. I'll use another tall one again. I think that's a tall one right there. Yep. I'll pop that one in there. And there's our image right there. Fantastic. What I'm going to do now is decide where we want to actually zoom in. Perhaps we might want to zoom in on this flower, or perhaps a window up here. So to make this work, I want to hide any overflow we've got going on in our column that this image is sitting in here. And I'll do that in a minute in the column. But remember, this is a regular image, so if you want to, you can link it to somewhere by putting your link in there. And always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If not, open it in a new tab. That way your site will stay open. Or of course you can open it into a lightbox. That means when you click on it, it'll pop out to a larger version. I think I'll leave mine on that. Great. Well, we're done for this image for the moment. Now I'm going to go into this column that it's sitting in. So if you click anywhere beside the image, you'll see the little green line. That's for our column. Or actually for the row, green tab for a row there. If we go inside, it's got two columns, this particular one. We're working on the first column. I'm going to make this a fixed height so we can zoom like I mentioned before. So I'm going to go into that first column. I'm going to go over to the advanced. I'm going to go to custom CSS, and here it is, the only line of code we're going to write, and I'll put it down below. In the main element, I'm just going to give it a fixed height. And I'm going to say about 700 pixels. I happen to know that's about right for this image. So I'm going to say height, 700 pixels. Obviously, you make it work for whatever you've got size-wise. And it's a little semicolon there. Great. Well, I want to hide the overflow. And what the overflow is when I make this larger to zoom in on a window, it means it won't spill out of the sides of the column there. You won't see it. So still on our advanced tab, we can roll down. We can go to visibility, and here we have horizontal and vertical overflow. We're going to hide both by clicking on it and making it hidden there. There we go. Great, so we've done everything we need to do to our column there. We'll save this, we'll save the row settings, go back into our little module here. Dark tab for the module, for the image module itself. Now we want to decide what we want to zoom on. And I think, yeah, let's zoom in on perhaps this window up here. So in the image settings, I'm going to go over to my design. I'm going to roll all the way down to transform at the bottom here. Now this is common to all Divi modules. If you roll over the dark writing within a module, you'll see some little icons appear. If there's a little arrow there, we can click on it and set a desktop state, which is when your mouse is not on it, and a hover state, which means when your mouse is on it. So for the hover state, I want to zoom in on this little window up here. So I'm going to make sure I've got hover checked here. The first little tab is transform scale, which is make bigger. So I'm going to scale this up perhaps by 500%. I'm going to type in 500 and the percent sign. That may be a little too much. We'll see when we zoom up to that window. Now I'm going to go to the little tab next door, which is translate or move. And again, we want to make sure we're on the hover. I'm going to move this till it goes to where we want to actually go, which is up to this window up here. and you just have to pull it around till it's where you want it to be. That's absolutely fine there. So when we're not hovering over it, we've got the regular image like that. When we hover over it, it's going to zoom in on that window up there. Great. Now the time it takes to do that by default with Divi is 300 milliseconds, which is just under 1/3 of a second, which is pretty quick. I like to slow it down for a little bit of drama to do that. Still in our image settings, we want to go over to the Advanced tab, down to Transitions. Here's that transition duration. There's the default 300 mils. You can either type in a value, increment up and down with the little arrows, or you can just hit the slider. Let's slow it down to maybe 3/4 of a second, 350 milliseconds. Don't want any delay, want it to happen as soon as they put their mouse on it. And the transition speed curve I like to use for this is actually ease in, ease out. Ease will work fine. Some of these will work better in certain situations than others. Do check them out. I'm going to leave it on ease because that seems to work fine today. So I'm going to save my changes here. Let's check it out on the front end. I'm going to hit the little purple button. I'm going to hit the save. And let's exit the Visual Builder. And we can go on down to where we were working. There's our little image. When I hover over it, it's going to zoom in on that little window. That's a nice little targeted zooming little effect we've got going on there. And of course when I click on it, it's going to pop out into a little lightbox effect too. So there you go guys. There's how to make your image zoom in on a specific area. And of course, depending on your image, you can get some really dramatic effects with that. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. Don't forget, if you have any questions, put them below the video. I'll do my best to answer them or make a demo video for you if I can. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.